safety of all passengers, it is strongly advised that you remain seated at all times during the tour and avoid protruding your arms and head out of the carriages. Infants and children accompanied by adults should be seated in the inner places of the carriages. It is forbidden to eat and drink on board this train. The estimated time of the tour is approximately 25 to 30 minutes. Have a pleasant trip. Malta train's terminus is situated in the square in front of the Domus Romana, a museum that covers the site of a rich and sumptuously decorated townhouse belonging to a wealthy person in Roman Malta. The site, discovered in 1881 and further excavated in 1920, contains a number of remarkably fine mosaic pavements and some original architectural elements. On the left-hand side, we have Howard Gardens, named after Malta's first Prime Minister. The gardens, which are a popular sightseeing spot, form a natural border between Mdina and neighbouring Rabat. Further up to your left, we have the main gate to Mdina, which was erected in 1724 by Grandmaster de Villena. The main gate is reached by a narrow stone bridge over a moat dam decorated with stone trophies of arms supported by lions. Site called Casino Notabile. It was entrusted to the civil engineer Webster in 1887. It was used for social gatherings for the nobles who lived at Mdina. On your left, you are regaled with one of many spectacular views of the area of Malta experienced on this tour. Entering the old part of Rabat with its narrow roads and the traditional closed balconies known better as Galleria. This road leads us to the core of Rabat, which is renowned for its commercial activity, social events, and adjacent to St. Paul's Church, which was built in the 16th century. Legend says that when St. Paul preached from this site, his words were miraculously heard from Gozo. Attached to St. Paul's Church, one can see St. Paul's Grotto. According to a strong tradition, the Apostle Paul found shelter in this grotto after he was shipwrecked. The grotto contains pieces of sacred art and frescoes of considerable value. On the left-hand side is St. Paul's Church and Grotto. On your right is St. Catalda's Chapel and statue, which were built and erected in the 18th century. On the left we have St Paul's Catacombs, and to the right St Agatha's Catacombs, and further down to the right is St Agatha's Church. St Paul's Catacombs contain a variety of different types of graves, as well as a few frescoes with inscriptions, and has 2 agape tables. The small church at St Agatha's complex is dedicated to the Sicilian saint, who some believe sought refuge in Rabat. Today this church is popular for wedding ceremonies. In this unique complex there is an underground crypt, St Agatha's Catacombs, the convent of the Missionary Society of St Paul, and an archaeological museum. This is a catacombs area characterized by many family hypogea or burial places of Punic, Roman, Jewish or Christian origin. This could be explained by the fact that burial was probably prohibited inside the city. All these places of interest in this area are within walking distance from our train terminus. Kindly ask the train attendant for further assistance.
Wat leuk. Die was zwart.
Вот мы доехали до конца.
Вот я. Нет, это конец. Сейчас еще вот сюда, по-моему,
We are now exiting the old part of Rabat and entering into the relatively modern area of Rabat. As our marker, we can observe the typical modern stone walls which are characteristic of the Maltese landscape and delineate the agricultural areas into terraced fields to avoid soil erosion and provide adequate shelter for crop cultivation. Another characteristic of the Maltese landscape are the Aleppo pine and carob trees, the caper shrubs, and the commonly found prickly pear trees of the Mediterranean area that are renowned for its tasty fruit, its use in ice creams and liquor derived from it. Most of the buildings here are relatively modern. However, the Punic remains prove that Halbarga has been inhabited in Phoenician times. Archaeological excavations have brought to light 3 Punic tombs. It is the only site in Rabat where terracotta sarcophagi have been found. We are now exiting Rabat through another suburb known as Negret, renowned for the archaeological remains that were unearthed in this area. In Negret, 19 tombs were found. The contents of one of these graves date to early 6th century BC. Right-hand side we have a panoramic view of St Paul's Cathedral and the Carmelite Church in Mdina. On your left we can observe typical views of the Maltese countryside with terraced fields and rugged terrain. entry into Mtarfa, which is a small town close to Rabat and Mdina. The history and existence of Mtarfa has its roots in ancient history. Prehistoric remains are still evident. Silas rock-hewn tombs and cart ruts are found scattered over a wide range of non-urban Mtarfa. During the British rule in Malta, Mtarfa had a significant facelift. Military barracks were built in 1890.
Собак. Роняет. Какой-то аттракцион.
On our left we have the Royal Naval Hospital Mtarfa, also known as RNH Mtarfa. The Royal Naval Hospital was the main hospital for the British forces in the Eastern Mediterranean until they left Malta in 1979. Thereafter it was converted into a state secondary school named after Maltese historian Sir Temi Zamit. As Mtarfa became a hive of activity, several locally engaged workmen had to make way to the village by the very limited means of transport available at the time. In fact, in 1883, the Malta Railway was extended to the limits of Mtarfa. In the 80s, several modern apartments were built. Ex-military establishments were converted to civilian use, including centres for the care of persons with disability, a pastoral centre, and an elderly home. On your left is the Old People's Home, providing respite for the elderly, and on your right, the coat of arms of the Fire Brigade station that was erected on this site in 1893. On your right is the clock tower. The clock tower is Mtarfa's landmark, which was built in 1895, and to date still shows the time. The clock tower, which is a great source of civic pride, is featured on the emblem of Mtarfa. your cameras ready, on your left from Malta's highest point, we have a spectacular view of the island, which is one of many picturesque views on this train tour. In front of us we have an outstanding view of the old capital, Mdina. On your left we have a spectacular view of the central and southern part of Malta, dotted with the large number of church cupolas and spires of the various villages. In the vicinity one can see Malta's national football stadium. On your left you can see the Mdina Church, which stands out because of its huge dome. The Mdina Church, which is better known as the Rotunda, has one of the largest domes in Europe. Mdina, with its medieval and Renaissance palaces, churches and fortifications, and its narrow streets, has a character of its own. It was the island's capital city until 1568. The Knights of St. John, after the Great Siege of 1565, built the new city of Valletta. Its present area covers only a third of Malta's older Roman city called Melita. They also changed the name, calling the town simply Mdina, the city, and the newly formed suburb, Rabat. Both names are still in use. Mdina, today known as the Silent City, is one of Europe's finest examples of an ancient walled city, and unusual in its mix of medieval and Baroque architecture. The city had a building renewal after the devastating earthquake of 1693, when most of the buildings were razed to the ground. Today, however, there is no sign of destruction. By simply walking through the narrow streets of Mdina, one can easily arrive at various palaces and museums and churches. As we leave the outstanding view of Mdina, further up to your left is the bridge that crosses the valley over which the crossing the bridge over the valley to reach Museum train station outside Mdina, which is situated on your left-hand side. On 28th of February 1883, the first train in Malta left Valletta. The train took only 25 minutes to reach its destination in Rabat. Some years later, the trip was extended by means of a tunnel to pass under Mdina. On your left, we can observe the imposing and magnificent bastions of Mdina in the vicinity of Green Gate, which is Mdina's secondary main gate, which is said to have been inhabited by a Greek colony in the Byzantine period. Sadly, we're now nearing the end of our train ride. Please kindly remain seated in the train until the train is stationary. We'd like to remind you not to leave any valuable items behind when you leave the train. However, if you'd like to leave a small tip for our driver, it would be much appreciated. If you've enjoyed your train adventure today, please visit our Facebook page and give it a thumbs up, or you can visit our TripAdvisor page. We'd like to thank you for joining our train ride today. Enjoy the rest of your holiday here on our wonderful Maltese islands. See you again soon.
Все, выходим.